I can say today that I have a very comfortable life. My businesses are growing. My family, we have a lovely time. In fact, my wife is my best friend. We spend most times together. And my spiritual life as well, I feel very assured in my spiritual life. And this wasn't always like this until I came to the church many years ago.
I was having issues in my marriage with my husband. We're newly married, I should say, so we had financial problems. We had also ourselves to deal with, not understanding each other, arguments. We had issues with our finances. He was working then and he was just about to do his master's. So it was not easy for me with a baby.
There were times where it was very difficult to get contracts, to see things. I was trying very hard. And it was quite difficult.
We decided, both my husband and I, to be faithful tithers after learning about how if God is to bless us financially in everywhere, we have to be faithful tithers. I
thought, look, this same God, if I learn how to follow him, if I learn how to partner with him, I should be able to do great things. And he can show me great things to do. And I trusted what I was hearing from the church, that the Bible is really like the instruction we have, the manual for life that we have. And I started putting that in practice.
I would say even being in partnership with God, when I started the business which I manage, or rather run, I totally depended on him. I didn't know much, but I just said, God, you have to teach me this. I really need your help. So I was in partnership with him.
I actually got bigger contracts than what I was even expecting. And through that, I continued learning and seeing that God never really fails if we trust in him.
Everything started peaking, started getting contracts from even bigger commercial contracts from that time, I would say.
Being in partnership with God, it's like being in partnership in business or entering into any contract. You have terms and conditions. So it's like that. So I try to do my part and God does his part. So that's what the partnership is about.
What we're doing now, I would say, is that we run an estate agent. We have where we manage a lot of properties. We do lettings and sales. We also do block management, which we do all across London, I should say. And my husband runs wealth consultant business, and we're also looking to acquire many more other businesses. We are in position to do that.
One of the reasons I want to do better, I always want to do better, is to really show people that God will exist. And not just that, to help others as well.
Hello, welcome to Finding Answers. I'm sure you'll agree with me that everyone has a passion in life, everyone has a purpose. And I'm sure that you will have a whole other degree of happiness once you find your purpose in life, once you do what you know you were born to do. When you find that, you don't do it for money, you don't do it, of course, if money comes along with it, the better. But you don't do it for money, you don't do it because, someone tells you that you're good at it. You do it because you have this passion for it. You have, talk to anyone who becomes a doctor and then, quits everything to go in and help people in Africa being a doctor, but they're not doing it because they have a passion for being a doctor. They're doing it because they have a passion to help people. Talk to anyone who, quits doing something with a specific career and they go on chasing a dream. It may take them years to chase that dream, but because they reach it, once they reach it and they start engaging daily in doing and pursuing this dream, it's like they fulfilled the purpose they had in life. And few things are more fulfilling than this. In fact, we have an example of this today in the studio. And no, it's not our guest, it's one of the presenters, but she'll tell you her own story in just a few moments. Have a look at this video we prepared to talk about tonight's show.
Did you used to have big dreams when you were younger? Did you think that your life was going to turn out differently? How does someone feel when they stop for a moment and take a look at their life and realise that it's spiralled out of control? That what they accomplished is minimal and very far away from what they were hoping. When people search for their purpose, they often worry about outside influences and focus on what others think they should do, or on society's view of success. Psychologists state that people allow their social self to dominate their lives. This is the part of us that's concerned with fitting in, following rules and being acceptable to others. It interferes with you finding your purpose when you focus more on pleasing others. People end up making decisions based on what seems good and right to everyone else, which is a recipe for feeling depleted and absolutely purposeless. Purpose has been described as authenticity. It's about finding your authentic self. It's also about finding your passion and your unique talent. And once you do, you will have found your purpose.
Welcome back. Now, as I said before showing you this short video, we have an example with our co-presenter here of our daily show, Victoria. Good evening, Victoria.
Good evening.
You have an interesting story of chasing your purpose, right? Tell us about that.
Well, I was a teacher for 7 years. I was a lecturer in psychology, and I changed jobs, and I didn't quite enjoy that particular job as much as I did the others. So I decided to, at the age of 32, to quit everything and to try and be a presenter.
Now, you were telling me that you always had this dream of being a presenter, but you thought it was silly.
Yeah, I always wanted to be a TV presenter, and but I just thought everybody wants to do that, surely. So yeah, I just thought it was a bit silly, so I didn't really tell anyone.
Mm-hmm. So once you changed, I mean, once you actually started doing that, was it different to what you were doing before? Was it more fulfilling?
Yeah, it was really fulfilling, because the best part about it is if somebody asks me what I do for a living, I now just have this ridiculous huge grin on my face, because it's exactly what I want to do. And obviously I keep striving for new exciting things to do in the same line of work, but yeah, I just have this silly grin on my face, because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and I think this is really powerful for you to do what you believe you are supposed to be doing, and it's based on your passion, and that has a huge impact in your overall happiness in life. Of course, unfortunately, we have people who, because they've tried to find something, full of purpose in life, and they haven't been able to do that, they become disillusioned with life. They become frustrated. They're kind of people that they've lost the joy for life. So they have a job, a 9-to-5 job, or whatever the shift is. They go to that work. They get paid. Perhaps they even get paid a good salary. But the problem is that they hate what they do. Actually, I read that this former England football player, he quit playing football to open a restaurant in Spain, right? And he said although he makes a lot less money, he's a lot happier doing that than he was when he was playing football.
Isn't it funny, because so many people would kill to be a football player?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
And he was a very successful football player. Perhaps some of you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention his name. But this is one of the most central and important things in life, is you finding something that you want to do. And maybe you're the kind of person that you wake up every morning and you hate your life. You hate your life. You hate the fact that you have a job you don't like. You hate the fact, perhaps, that you've always wanted to have a family and you don't have a family yet. Some people feel that their purpose is to have a family. I've heard of people who quit acting careers so they could become a mother, they could have children. Maybe you feel your life is going forward, but it's not going forward in the direction that you want. Maybe you say, I don't know how I ended up where I am. I hate what I do. I don't want to do this anymore. But if you ask me how I'm going to change direction in life, I just don't know what to do anymore. I need some kind of guidance. I need some kind of direction. The Word of God shows that God is a God who can give us direction. He can point you in the right direction. Remember, the Word of God says that when Jesus was born, there was a star that guided the 3 wise men to him. When He gives you a guidance, when He gives you a purpose in life, there is no doubt as to what you're supposed to be doing. Perhaps you ask yourself, am I supposed to be doing what I do? Is this what life is all about? But if someone asks you what you should be doing, you don't have an answer. You don't know. You feel lost. You feel hopeless. So you do something that gets you by, but perhaps you hate it. Maybe you want to change the direction of your life. Maybe you've always wanted to be the bad boy, and now that you are the bad boy, you don't want that life anymore. Maybe you've always wanted people to fear you, and now that people fear you because you're on the wrong side of life, of the tracks of life, you don't want that anymore. Maybe you've always wanted to, I read something interesting this week. A survey was done, I think in America, and 82% of singles engage in casual dating or casual sex. 82% of people. Now, majority of these people, at one point, they get tired of this and they want stability. And sometimes you're doing something and you think, this is making you happy, fulfilling your life. But then you wake up and you say, what am I doing? This is not taking me anywhere. And there are people who perhaps feel exactly like this.
Yeah, but sometimes some people want what they can't have or they don't have. So it is really worth figuring out exactly what you do want to do. Obviously, you may need to try certain things first to find your purpose. But yeah, sometimes it's very difficult. We want what we can't have.
Yeah, and sometimes you stumble upon your purpose when you do something different. And you think you're just going to do this, and then you love it so much, and this is what you want to turn your life into. So perhaps you need guidance right now. You need direction. You feel that you stumbled upon a life that you didn't want. You've stumbled upon something that you say, this is not the life I imagined it to be. And you want to change direction. I want you to get in contact with us. And today we're going to be praying for direction, for you to find a purpose in life. If you want to get in contact with us, we have right now a team of pastors who are ready to speak to you. The telephone number should already be on the screen. Oh, there it is. But it should be there since the point I told you that you could call us. All right, guys? I'm talking to the guys there in the control room. So if you say, look, I need direction. I don't know what to do. I feel lost. And I want God to give me a light, like that star you were talking about, James. The star that guided those 3 wise men. I want to find this star. I want someone to point me in the right direction. Then I believe that God can do that. If you want, at the end of this program, we're going to be praying for direction, and you can include your name in our prayer list here today. You can email your name to us. The email address is help@findinganswers.tv, help@findinganswers.tv, or you can call us right now on 020-7686-6300. You can always contact us through social media as well, and Victoria is going to tell you how to do that.
So you can send us a tweet. Just start your tweet with @FindAnswersTV, or search for us on Facebook. Just search for Finding Answers.
Let's go for a break. We'll be right back. And get in contact now. We will be including your name in the prayer list for the end of the program.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively. But the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort and homework from you.
Has the US been steering killer drones searching for missiles won't reach Syria for several months. Will sell big fighter jets to the Assad.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Tonight our topic is how to find your purpose. Now, the need to have a purpose in your life is one of the defining characteristics of human beings. We naturally crave a purpose and will suffer serious psychological difficulties when we don't have it. Not having a purpose can make us more vulnerable to boredom, anxiety and depression. It can also make us more vulnerable to substance abuse and attempt to alleviate psychological difficulties. On the other hand, having a strong sense of purpose can have a powerful positive effect. You won't get up in the morning wondering what you're going to do with yourself. You will be mentally engaged. Life will appear easier, less complicated and less stressful. Another important factor is that aligning ourselves to a purpose often makes us less self-centered. We feel part of something bigger, and this helps us to be less focused on our own worries and anxieties. So if you can, try to spend some time thinking about and hopefully finding your purpose.
Absolutely. And I want to remind you that at the end of this program, we'll be making a prayer for direction. If you would like to send us your name for us to include in our prayer list, we will have our telephone number and email address on the screen throughout the program, and you can do that at any point. Now, sometimes it can be scary, right, for you to change dramatically what you do into something new that you believe to be your purpose. But although it is scary, once you get it going, it's very rewarding, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it is a huge leap of faith, and you can either set lots of things in place where you know that you're going to be safe, or you can just do what I did and just let it all go.
Absolutely. I want you to meet tonight's guest, Sobrina Watson, and she's going to tell us how she lost her purpose in life, but she found it again once God gave her this direction we were talking about earlier. Let's meet her.
Pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Welcome back. I'm here with Sobrina. Good evening, Sobrina.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good?
Yes, I am.
Nervous?
A bit.
Don't be. Sobrina, I was saying earlier that you lost your purpose in life and then you found it again.
Yes.
Why did you lose your purpose in life? What happened?
I had a bright outlook in life, to have a happy marriage, business, and children. That I lost that.
But you didn't lose it overnight, right?
No, I didn't.
What happened?
The marriage was abusive, and I lost two babies, and subsequently fall into depression.
When you say you lost the babies, what happened? Was it during the pregnancy that you lost?
I had the first child was I was about 18 to 20 weeks pregnant, and I had premature labor.
Right.
And that's what happened. It
Right.
just, I lost
And
that
the
child.
second one?
The second one, I was 38 weeks pregnant. That's 9 months pregnant, and I had a placental abruption,
Right.
which I almost lost my life, and the baby starved of oxygen and died after 18 hours.
So those were two very traumatic events.
Yes.
Were they close to
They
one
were
another?
no, not the first one. Was I had a child after a little boy. He's 11 now,
Right.
so he's he survived.
Good. And then the other one happened after that, right?
Yes.
When did you? I mean, did you become depressed first, or did you started going through the abuse in the marriage first?
It's the abuse in the marriage was a main factor of it, because it was like control. It was like I wasn't able to do what I really wanted to do. What I stood out that I wanted to become a computer engineer, by in turn become something else.
So you wanted to become a computer engineer.
Yes.
That was your passion.
That was my passion.
Your purpose.
Yes.
Right. You didn't become a computer engineer. Why? Because the person you were married to was trying to control you. Told you
Yes.
that you couldn't do it.
Yes.
What happened?
Yes. He decided what I did, what I studied, and
So he made the decisions for you.
yes.
When did the abuse go from being verbal to becoming physical?
I think after the first, during the marriage, when it become abusive. It's on and off, on and
Right.
off throughout.
A lot of people say that when they go through abuse, the partner says, "Oh, I'll never do this again. Forgive me," and then it starts again. Was it like that?
Yes, it's like that.
Okay. Now, when you were going through the depression, you had a lot of bad stuff that was happening to you. Did you ever contemplate suicide? Was that something that was going through your mind?
Yes, I contemplated suicide because I was lost. I wasn't feeling myself. I felt, when I was walking, I felt like it wasn't me. I felt like like when you watch a horror movie and the zombies, so that's how I felt. Like I was just floating. I
Right.
didn't feel myself. I woke up. I didn't want to wake up in the mornings. I was an outgoing person, and I just become a recluse.
So you became somebody else.
Yes.
I mean, Victoria was saying a minute ago, after the break, that when you have a purpose, it's easy to wake up in the morning. For you, because you lost your purpose, you said you didn't want to wake up in the morning.
No.
I mean, when your alarm clock would ring in the morning, what would you do? How many times would you press the snooze button?
Maybe about 6, 7 times.
And when you would wake up, you didn't want to get up from bed.
It just feel a bit. I was always tired, sleepy. It's just, I just felt low.
You were saying that sometimes that you would feel always tired, and there's a kind of tiredness that you feel it in your body, of course, because you feel tired, but it's something mental, because there are people who sleep fewer hours, who do a harder kind of work in terms of being labor intensive, but they don't feel tired because they're doing exactly what they love, right? And sometimes you have the person who lost the purpose in life, is not doing what they like, they do what they absolutely hate in terms of work, and even though they have enough time to sleep, they have enough holidays, enough weekends, it's like they're always tired. Was it like this for you?
Yes. I would have a clock, like 8 o'clock, I wanted to sleep. I would just want to sleep. And I just didn't want to get up, didn't want to wake up.
Now, you also struggled with spiritual attacks.
Yes.
Right? For people who don't know what spiritual attacks are, some people call this sleep paralysis, for example. In fact, there's different kinds of spiritual attacks. What you suffered with, a lot of people call it sleep paralysis. What were the symptoms you had?
Well, it would happen during the day or the night, any time of day. I would be like lying down and it's like my breath was going. I couldn't breathe. I felt something holding on to my chest and I wouldn't let go and tried to. And at one point, the worst scenario was my eyes were open, and my eyes were open, and it was like not letting go.
So you weren't sleeping?
Or the worst scenario was
Right.
I was really like I could see like something was holding on to my chest and it wouldn't let go.
Were you afraid to go to sleep?
Yes. So that's the reason why I would sleep at 8 because I knew I would have the attacks after.
You know, let me say something here. When you love what you do, when you have this passion for what you do, you want to go to sleep because you want the day to come quickly so you can go and do this thing that you're excited about doing. It's like a child that's going on a school trip the next day. I remember when I was a child and I had a school trip the next day, I wanted to go to bed early so that I could go to sleep and the next morning could come quickly. But at the same time, when I had a test, an exam, I wanted to stay up as much as I could so I could put off that morning coming. And maybe that's how you feel with your life. Maybe every single morning is like an exam morning for you. You dread morning coming because your life is a drab. It's dull. And it's dull because you hate what you do. Perhaps there are people who look at you and envy what you do, what you have. But you hate it. It's not what you want. It's like the footballer guy we mentioned. You hate your life. You want to change your life. I want to invite you for you to send us your name for prayer. At the end of the program tonight, we are going to be praying for you. And I'm going to mention as many names as possible. I know that our time is limited. But give us a call. Leave your name with our team for us to include your name in our prayer. You who feel that you have no direction, leave your name on our Facebook page. You can send us a message on Facebook, facebook.com/finding answers, right, Victoria? Yeah. Or you can send us an email, or you can send us a tweet. Victoria, how is the tweet?
At Find Answers TV.
At Finances TV, right?
No, at Find Answers TV.
At Find Answers TV. I'm learning this Twitter thing. I'll get there. But you can contact us, and we're going to pray for you because God can bring you this direction that you need. Okay, get in touch. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to find out how Sobrina found the purpose in her life again.
This is your UCKG timetable. We are open 7 days a week, helping you to make a new beginning. Monday, a meeting focused on achieving more in your financial life. Tuesday, prayers for healing. Wednesday, a meeting teaching you to develop in your spiritual life. Thursday, a special prayer for the family. Friday, a service for your spiritual deliverance. Saturday, Find the One, a service specifically tailored for your love life. Sunday, Reconnect with God, the main meeting for your spiritual strength. The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
1/3 of women in the world are victims of violence or sexual abuse. The World Health Organization considers the problem a global endemic. After all, these women are everywhere. She sits next to you on the bus. She walks past you in the aisle at the supermarket. She could be your manager, a friend, your sister. She could be the person you least expect. For this reason, let us break the silence. The Rahab Project invites you who have been a victim of physical, verbal or sexual abuse or any other form of domestic abuse to participate in a meeting aimed at your physical, psychological, emotional and spiritual freedom, promoting peace to all women who are or have been victims of abuse. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org/Rahab.
Definitely depression is probably number one.
They're arguing and they're talking negatively about each other.
What is more valuable than another? And so
you can have as many friends and families as you want. It just depends.
Is a common regret, like, oh, like I should have like asked that person out, or like.
Hi, I'm Chika here on the streets of London for Finding Answers. Tonight's topic is how to find your purpose. It's never an easy task, but as young children, we all had big dreams. So what were they? I'm going to be asking the general public. Let's see what they say. As a child, what did you want to be and did it come true?
Well, you know, I always wanted to be a footballer, really. It didn't. Look at my outfit. I'm a sales, so but yeah, I mean, that's still my passion. You know, you always think about maybe make your passion your job one day, and yeah, unfortunately, I became a sales, but I still do some soccer, so at least it's still my passion.
I wanted to be a writer, and I write a lot, but I don't show anyone. So kind of.
I kind of wanted to do a lot of stuff. Acting, I guess, is what I really wanted to do when I was younger, and I moved out here like a year and a half ago to try and pursue that, but other than that, haven't really made any moves towards it. So not yet, I guess, is the answer. Yeah.
I wanted to be a drawer or a florist. I'm neither, but I do work along similar lines.
Yes, it did. I wanted to work for myself, create a business, and I did it. I came to London in '65. I left here in '98. I'm very happy to leave with a very rich bank account. And I achieved what I wanted. Took time, but I done it.
Welcome back. Now, most people there, they said that they do nothing related to what they've always wanted to do when they were younger, which is a shame. I think even if you grow up wanting to be a Formula One driver, it doesn't mean that you will be, but it would be good if at least you do something related to that. And unfortunately, most people, they give up on their passions, on the purpose in life. Of course, there are those who find a new purpose in life. That was my case. You know, I've through the help that I found in the church, I had this newfound purpose to help others as well. And this is why we do what we do. Now, we met Sobrina a few moments ago. She told us that because of 2 complicated pregnancies, she lost 2 babies, suffered abuse, contemplated suicide, became depressed, and suffered with spiritual attacks. We're going to find out now how she changed her life and what's the purpose that she found. I don't know if her purpose remains the same. You mentioned wanting to be an IT technician.
At first, yeah.
At first.
Yes.
So I don't know if her purpose is still the same. We're going to find out. Now, how did you first find out about the church?
A family member came to a funeral here, and I was explaining to them my situation, and they told me about the church that they attended, and I should try.
Right. So when you came, you had all these troubles that were going on in your life.
Yes.
How did attending the church help? I mean, what was the first thing you noticed that changed?
I noticed the spiritual attacks. They went away.
Right.
And I had a brighter outlook. I could feel myself. I was a bit, things were changing. Like things that used to be negative become positive in my life. And I had a brighter outlook.
How long did it take for those spiritual attacks to disappear?
About, say, 3 months, because I used my faith, and I believed that what I wanted I would achieve with the help of the advice I received.
And you struggled with spiritual attacks for how long?
It's since 2002.
So all in all, how long?
Say, so 2000. It stopped last year, which is about.
So over 10 years.
Over 10 years, yeah.
For over 10 years, you got rid of that problem within 3 months of attending the church, right? And then your attitude to life started changing. You started to see things differently.
Yes.
I imagine, I mean, from what people usually tell us on this show, people that go through abuse and the problems you had with the 2 babies that you lost, I imagine that affected your confidence a lot, right?
Yes.
So did you find that your confidence came back by attending the church, by receiving the prayers? Did that change anything?
Yes, I had a sudden boost of confidence. I was able to, because I was able to sleep, I felt better.
Right.
Sleep without disturbance.
So you weren't afraid to sleep anymore?
No.
Now, today, Sobrina, what is your purpose in life today? How are you today? I mean, are you still depressed? Are you still suicidal? Are you still afraid to sleep? Afraid to sleep you're not, because you already told us that. But who are you today? How are you today?
I am Sobrina now.
Are you like a zombie still?
No, no. I am happy. I am happy, and I have a brighter outlook to my future, because I want to become a successful business owner.
So you no longer want to be an IT technician?
No.
So your purpose changed. You now have this vision to have a successful business.
Yes.
Of course, people who are business owners and business people, they have to be confident. So surely your confidence came back.
Yes.
Right? So you now are a confident woman?
Yes, I am.
And how is your quest to be a successful business person going?
It is going, it seems, it looks bright.
Good. And the depression is also gone?
Yes.
That's great. Thank you so much for being here. You were speaking about things that are personal, difficult to talk about, so thank you for that. I'm sure that it's helping a lot of people. We have about 10 minutes before the prayer. I know that we have a few people calling. I want to encourage you, if you want direction from God. I can't give you direction. Listen, I can sit down with you and say, why don't you become this or become that? Why don't you, believe that you can start a family? Why don't you? I can tell you all this. But the direction that matters is the one that comes from God. And not only He can give you direction, but He can give you the strength for you to do this that sometimes looks scary, for you to go onto this new avenue, this new found purpose that perhaps you already know what it is. It's scary. He can give you the strength to do that. If you'd like to be part of our prayer at the end of the program here tonight, then do get in touch. 020-7686-6300, or send us an email to help@findinganswers.tv, or you can contact us via Facebook or Twitter. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, I'm going to be talking here to Pastor Abraham. And the interesting thing about him is that one day he was watching a TV program very much like this. He had also lost his purpose in life, and that TV program like this you know, it sparked something in him. And he said, there is hope for me to find a new direction for my life. You're going to hear his story as soon as we come back. Welcome back. Now, on Mondays, I usually have one of our pastors here with us, Pastor Abraham. Now, believe it or not, a few years ago, and when I say a few years ago, how many years are we talking about, Pastor Abraham?
17 years ago.
17 years ago. 17 years ago, you found yourself watching a program very much like this. How was your life at that point?
Well, at that point, my life was completely a mess because I was suicidal at the time. I was also depressed, and in order to kind of to run away from this situation, I started drinking and also doing drugs. And to top up everything, I was also atheist. So
you didn't believe in God?
Didn't believe in God and anything.
Am I right in thinking that the day that you stumbled upon this program, you were drunk on that day?
Yes, pretty much. Yes, and I was just flipping the channels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I arrived at home, I remember that I started changing the channels, trying to find a program. And then I came across the program of the church. And the presenter was saying something really, really interesting that caught my attention, was that he was speaking about the need of development. So developing our lives, developing, you know, succeed in life. And of course, I want to succeed in life, but I did not know how.
So you were very much like we're talking about tonight, right?
Yes.
Did you know what your purpose in life was?
No, at that time I didn't. I mean, at that time, I knew that I need to succeed in life. But to be honest, I did not know what was my purpose in life. But then I decided to call. The first thing I did was exactly this, to call the helpline.
So when you called the program, you were drunk?
Yes, I was, and for my surprise, there was someone there to listen to me.
And did anyone say, how come you're calling this program drunk? Have you no shame? Did they say that?
No, nobody said this. On the opposite, on the other line, the person was really, paying attention to me, talking to me, and was even able to make an appointment, Bishop. So that 2 days later, I went and I spoke to the pastor. And
it's interesting that your life has come full circle, because now you are on one of the shows that you watched, not of course on this network, on a different channel, even in a different country, but you're doing now what on that day you found that helped you find a new direction in life. So you now have a new purpose, right?
Oh, for sure. My purpose is to help people. And I remember that the first thing that really, really called my attention when I came to church was, first of all, I did not believe in God, as I said before, but I decided to give myself a chance. Because I was drinking almost every day. I started doing drugs. I was depressed. I was suicidal. But then I remember that I really, gave myself this opportunity. And I said, well, I will do what is written in the Word of God. I'm going to put this Word to the test. And the first thing that happened was that depression went away, And Bishop, my life did not change overnight, of course. But I remember that something changed inside me. And it was something changed inside me that, made me kept going. And later on, I remember that I found a job at the airport at that time. And my life started moving. Forward, until the day that I decided to give up everything and become a pastor.
So because you found this new purpose in life. And it's like we were saying earlier, when you find your purpose, and the great thing about this thing of purpose is that your purpose doesn't have to be the same as mine. Do you understand? You otherwise life would be very boring. The world would be boring if everyone's purpose was the same. So maybe your purpose is that you want to be a homemaker. You're a lady, you want to be a homemaker, you want to be at home and care for your family. That's great. If that's what you're passionate about, is dedicating your time to your family. Perhaps you're different. You have this purpose that you want to be successful in your career and still look after your family, of course, part of life. Whatever your purpose is, whether you're a man or a woman, you will only find, fulfillment in life once you find what your purpose is. Of course, it goes without saying that to find true happiness, you need to find God. But you will only find fulfillment once you have this purpose. That's what I want to do right now. I want to offer a prayer for you, for God to give direction to you, so that you can find what your purpose in life is. Perhaps you're in need of direction. Perhaps you know what you need to do, but you're in need of strength. I'm going to pray for you right now. Let's watch this video first, and we'll be right back for the prayer. I already have here in my hands my glass with water. Prepare yours as well. I'm going to be praying for you who called, and I'm going to ask God that He brings this direction for you and the strength for you to pursue your purpose in life. Let's talk to God.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer and include you in the Finding Answers prayer book, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Lord and my Father, you are that star that guides us. Without you, we have a dark sky above us, with no direction, no guidance. We're just lost. And maybe this person has tried by themselves to find a purpose, to find a direction for their life. They just don't know what to do. They're lost. But you can bring the direction this person needs. And not only the direction, but you can bring the strength to pursue that dream, to chase that dream, to follow the dream that they have inside of them. Perhaps a dream that has been dormant, a dream that they've been afraid to pursue. But I pray for this person who didn't have maybe even the strength to call us. I also pray for those who did. I pray for Julie, for Sandra, my Lord. And I pray that whatever has been on the back burner, whatever this person perhaps has been afraid of doing, empower them now, my Lord. When they drink this water, let this person receive the strength to do the things that until today they were afraid to do, that until today they were putting off. Lord, strengthen them and give them the guidance they crave and they need. I consecrate this water that they're about to drink now in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. You may now drink of this water where you are. Before we finish, I'd like to draw your attention to a special program we are going to do this Wednesday here on gangs. We're going to have guests here with stories you won't believe, guests who were involved in gangs, who, were, to say that they were on the wrong side of the law is an understatement. So if you know someone who has a family member who is involved in gangs and you'd like to find hope and help, make sure that you don't miss the Wednesday program. Of course, tomorrow we'll be here as well. All right, it's been a pleasure to be with you. Until next time, may God bless you. Have a wonderful evening.